Hello my YouTube beauties, welcome back to my channel. I am still freaking sick. I don't know what to do. My strep has turned into this horrible like chest cold. I look like crap from here down, but from here up I put on a red lip. I'm feeling like a red lip. You know what? And sometimes putting on makeup just makes you feel better. So that's what I did today. I'm ready to share with you guys some of my favorite picks from 2018. Some of these came out in 2018. Some of these I just discovered in 2018. I'm probably going to say 2018 so many times. These are things that I've noticed that I just keep going back to. These are staples for me. They sit in my little makeup bin and I use every single day. If you're enjoying this video while you watch it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on my future videos. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, as long as I'm feeling good. So I have everything laid out in front of me from beginning to the end of the makeup. So I'm gonna try and go in order, like primer, foundation, concealer, powder, that thing. The first primer that I have been loving in 2018 has been the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I feel like in 2017 I used it, but I didn't understand its greatness. 2018 I felt like I got there, and now I cannot live without this product. It wakes me up in the morning. It makes me feel refreshed. I feel like my skin is better prepped for makeup after I use this product. Not in a way that it's going to like smooth out your pores and smooth your skin. It's just kind of like an extra moisturizer to prep your skin before putting on foundation. So I really love this product. It's a little bit pricey, but to me it's worth it. I think this is my maybe third or fourth bottle that I've gone through this year. I mean, they last a good amount of time. They're just kind of expensive when you first buy it. The next primer I'm going to talk about is the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer. This I recently discovered not that long ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and this sucker, I'm scared to touch it at times because it's so expensive. This is what the product looks like. Basically, this makes my makeup stay so well. It blurs out my pores. It just makes my face look like this beautiful canvas. And it does. It makes your skin feel very silky, and I find that that makes it really easy for the foundation to apply. It makes your skin look very soft and it's very smoothing. So I personally really love this primer. I don't think it's worth the price tag. Like, it's too expensive. But now that I have it, I do really enjoy it. All right, my next really expensive primer. I don't know why they make primers so expensive. Like, can you not? This is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. I've talked about this a million times on my channel. It's what I do my wear test Wednesdays with, and it says that it helps minimize your pores, absorbs oil, and mattifies shine. That's exactly what I want in a primer, especially because I do have oily skin. This works amazing on my skin. As you can see, I'm almost out. That's really sad because I don't want to fork up the money to buy another one, but I might have to. This is a great primer. I say that if you have large pores or you want like a smooth finish before you apply your foundation, I say try this out because it's really good and I don't hear anyone talking about it, but I really like it. Now on to foundations. I have 4. I tried to narrow it down to 1 and my brain about exploded. The first foundation I'm going to share is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. I discovered this pretty early on in 2018. Like, I've used this for the majority of the year, and holy cow, this is an amazing staple foundation. I feel like most skin types can use this foundation. It's like a good in-between between having someone with dry skin use it and having someone with oily skin use it. It's a really natural finish foundation, but it does keep me matte throughout the day. I really enjoy how my skin looks when using this foundation, and I notice that it lasts so long throughout the day. This is one of my longest lasting foundations that I do own. It's not that expensive. It is on the cheaper side of things. Next is the Physicians Formula The Healthy Foundation. This is my go-to, like, everyday, kind of like no makeup. So this is what I use when I just want something to even out my skin tone and that I know is going to last a good amount of time on my skin. It's also going to look more natural throughout the day. Like, this is not going to keep you super matte, but it doesn't interact badly with my oil. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I'm wearing it right now, and as you can see, I have a little bit of a glow going on, and this, when I'm filming this, it's the end of the day. Next is a very new foundation that I actually posted a video about on my channel not that long ago. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. I know what you're thinking. You have not used it for that long, but you know what? It made an impression. And I wanted to include it because while I haven't used it for the entire year and it kind of snuck in at the very end, not my fault, I didn't decide when this got released. It caught my attention because of how it wore. The finish is gorgeous. This is probably my favorite of their Infallible foundation line. I do definitely need to keep trying this and wearing this, but from what I've worn of it already, this is a winner. And it's from the drugstore. It's very affordable. Oh my gosh, 3 out of 4 of my foundations are drugstore. That's pretty cool that they beat out like all of my other high-end foundations. I know I haven't used it for that long, but it's that good that I wanted to throw this in here. The last foundation I'm going to talk about is the CYO Long Lasting Foundation. Holy cow, this might top all the other ones that I talked about. Now, this is like the Physicians Formula Healthy foundation, but it just gives better coverage and it wears better on my skin. This does not claim to be super mattifying, but it does claim to be like super long lasting, and I do see that. For some reason, I am going through this foundation so fast. I think I've used this foundation the most out of any of my foundations right now. Something about it keeps me going back to it like on a daily basis. I reach for this. The way that it wears on my skin, the longevity of the foundation, the finish, it's gorgeous. And I have read and watched so many reviews that this works well for both oily and dry skin types. So I think this really is like an all-in-one affordable foundation that if you had to choose any of the foundations I'm going to talk about, I would choose this one. This is probably the winner of all the foundations, but the other ones are still really good. All right, for concealer, this is the Jouer it's upside down. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. This blows everything else out of the park for me. It provides amazing coverage. It goes on like really smoothly. It's not too much coverage, and I never have a hard time like blending it out. It just looks flawless. It makes my under eyes so bright and beautiful. It doesn't crease on me. This to me beats every other concealer I've ever tried. So basically I've been using this every day since I got it, and I will probably need a new one soon. Most of the days that I go to work, I notice that I don't wear eyeshadow, maybe a little bit of bronzer blended in the crease, but I don't go crazy like, you know, how I did today. I don't normally wear eyeshadow every single day to work. So what I do is I use a concealer to have as a base so that my eyes don't have the veins showing through, and it like matches the rest of my face, but it's not eyeshadow. So my favorite product to do that with is the NARS Soft to Matte Complete Concealer. I have the shade Light 25 Creme Brulee. This is amazing at giving your eyelid that coverage that to match the rest of your face and kind of hide your veins. And I do notice that this doesn't crease on me throughout the day, which I really like. It's just really easy. It's a pot concealer. I dip my finger in there. Probably not very sanitary. I apply it onto my lid. It's super easy to apply and it blends out really nice. It's really creamy. It's just a perfect like eyeshadow base when you're not wearing eyeshadow. Now we're moving on to powders. I have already filmed 12 minutes of this video. I feel like it's gonna be a long one. The first powder I'm gonna talk about is from Mercier. It's the translucent setting powder. And this is my go-to powder for everything. I think I will use this powder for the rest of my life. It controls my oil so well. It sets my face down. It doesn't make me crease. It's just the perfect setting powder for me. When I don't want to use this one, I use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This is kind of a cheaper alternative to that one, and it has a little bit of coverage. It's not translucent. Like, it's going to add a little bit of coverage to your foundation. However, I noticed that like when I first apply this one, I feel like my skin is a little bit drier, and then throughout the day it allows my foundation to crease a little bit more than the Mercier ones. If you wanted to try the Mercier powder, I would test this guy out too, because I do think that it's a very similar product. For eyebrows, Anastasia. I use the Anasazi Dipbrow Pomade forever. most of 2018. So this one's amazing, as well as the set that I've been using. It's the Brow Wiz mixed with the clear brow gel. This is an amazing combination. Probably my favorite one I've ever tried. So Anasazi, you're still killing it with the brows. Moving on to bronzer. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Too Faced Sweetheart Bronzer in the shade Sweet Tea. This is a baked luminous glow bronzer, so it's going to add a little bit of glow to your skin, but this is a perfect bronzer shade for me, and I will swatch it so that you can see, but I mixed the two because they're two different shades. So that is what the bronzer looks like. It's a gorgeous, neutral, not too cool, not too warm shade for me. And it's a little bit glowy, but it's not to the point where you're like, this is too much. I really love the shade of this, and I love how it applies onto my skin. I'm wearing it today. And then another perfect bronzer is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. This is amazing. The packaging looks like crap, okay? I've had this for so long. That is what this one looks like, and I will swatch it as well. It's kind of similar where it has a little bit of a glow to it compared to the Too Faced bronzer. This is the Too Faced bronzer, and then this one is the Hourglass bronzer. It's a little bit more warm. So, you know, it depends on what kind of bronzer that you like. The Sweet Tea one's going to be a little bit more neutral. The Hourglass one's going to be a little bit more warm, but they still have a similar finish where they have a little bit of glow. Both of these bronzers are just amazing. Next are blushes. The first one I'm going to talk about is the one that I've probably used the most out of this year. It's the Benefit Rockateur blush. This just has the perfect amount of like luminosity, and I'm gonna swatch it. This is what it looks like. It's in a little thing. It's kind of an old blush. For my skin tone, it's a perfect like neutral peachy pink blush, and I love it. It lasts a really long time on my skin. I still see it at the very end of the day, and I just love like the little bit of glow that it gives my cheeks. The second blush I'm going to talk about is from Tarte. It's the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Party. This one is my longest lasting blush, and it is matte, so it's a little different than the first one, and it's a little bit lighter in color. So this one's a definitely more pink than peachy like the Benefit one, but I love both of these. They both have really good lasting power. Highlights. I have 3 of them that I wanted to share with you. So the first one is the Smashbox Spotlight palette in the shade Pearl. This is what I've been using most of the year. Number one, because look at all these shades. You have so many different options. It's travel friendly. It works really well with my skin tone. I mainly mix these two together, this one and then the middle one. These highlights are perfect. They are not super powdery, they're not super glittery, they're like the beautiful mix between. These shades last amazing on my skin. They don't make my skin look textured at all. These are very, very smoothing highlights. Something about this formula and the colors. I love the bright white mixed with like the peachy pink shade. All right, the next highlight palette I'm going to talk about is from Colourpop. It's the In-Nude-Endo palette. Again, I've talked about this so many times on my channel. This is what the palette looks like. It's gorgeous, you guys. I will swatch all these shades for you. I really love this palette for its like intensity. This one is very metallic, very wet looking. These are really in your face highlighters, and the formula is so good. I feel like with this palette too, you kind of get like every shade that you would want in a highlight. There's so many different shades in here. So there is one for a deeper skin tone, but those are the highlights on my hand right there. Like so beautiful, so metallic, so wet looking on your skin. This is one of my longest wearing highlights also, so I know that these are going to be on my skin at the very end of the day. Then the last highlight I'm going to give an honorable mention to is the Anasazi Amrezy Highlight. Again, this came in late in the game. It did. If you haven't seen my review video, you should definitely go check it out because I go more in depth about my thoughts on this highlight. This is the perfect in-between gold highlight for any skin tone. Look at that. You can build it up. You can make it look very like minimal and very natural, but this is the highlight on my hand and it's freaking gorgeous. People with darker skin tones can wear this. People that are really fair can wear this highlight. Now we are moving to eyes and lip stuff. The only mascara I'm gonna mention is, you wanna guess it? Okay, it's this one. It's the CoverGirl LashBlast Fusion, the best mascara in my opinion ever. Like, no mascara has ever beaten this, so that's my favorite for life. The two liners I'm gonna mention, the first one is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. This is a great drugstore liquid liner, and it's black, it's gorgeous. Like, look at that. It's so stinking good. It stays lasting on my lid all day long. You don't have to worry about it fading. It's really easy to apply. Brush head is perfect for me, and it's affordable. It's at the drugstore, so you can't go wrong. And then this is the Maybelline Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. This is in the shade Sleek Onyx. It's the black shade. This is the blackest, most creamiest eyeliner that I've probably ever used. So that is what it looks like. Like, it's so intense. This stays on my waterline a good amount of time also. It's just a really good basic black liner. Now onto lips. No. Now on to eyeshadows, because there's less of these and more of the lips. For eyeshadow palettes, I'm going to mention 3 of them. The first one is the Tarte Aspen Ovard palette. This is a great palette for basics. Like, look at these shades right here. This palette smells like vanilla cake. It's really yummy smelling. You get a blush and a highlight in this palette. They are good. I don't use them a ton. The blush is really pigmented. Like, when I talk about pigmented, you have to be kind of careful with this one. The highlight's good too, but I love the basic shades in here in the eyeshadow palette. I find that this is a great go-to basic palette. The packaging is like stunning. That is my first palette I'm going to mention. And then the last 2 are from Anastasia. So the first one is the Modern Renaissance palette, because I think I got this year when everyone got it last year. I don't know. I think I'm a year behind in this one. This is their Modern Renaissance palette. Sure, you've heard of this palette, but this is what it looks like. I don't know why I'm holding it all weird. All right, this is what the palette looks like. It's gorgeous. It's got some really good basic shades. It's also got those pops of pinks and like really beautiful feminine shades. So I love this palette a lot. And then the second palette I use almost every day. This is the Soft Glam palette. This is what the palette looks like. It's got a really good mix of neutral matte shades as well as those pops of color right here and really pretty shimmer shades. I did a whole video about like my favorite eyeshadow formula for shimmery shadows, and this one was in that video. The formula of Anastasia palettes are unreal. I would pay more than $42 for these guys. This one wins it for me. It has everything I want in a palette. It's got the neutrals, it's got a black, it's got a lid shade that you can set your eyeshadow base with, it's got those pops of really pretty shimmer shades, it's got the mattes. It's just gorgeous. It's so good. Lipstick. Here we go. I have probably 12 I'm going to mention. Here are the first couple that I'm going to mention. These are the Sephora cream lip stains. I have 3 different shades to share with you. These are great if you want a neutral lip. These all look exactly the same in the tube. I promise you they don't look the same when they are swatched, so just be careful when you're like looking to buy one. These are really affordable at Sephora. These are just amazing. I have the shades 72, 71, and 13. The first one I'm going to swatch is the shade 13. That one is the shade 13. These last an amazing amount of time on your lips. Because they are a stain, they are going to stain your lips underneath, but because they're a neutral shade, when they start wiping off like throughout the day, number one, they stay a long time, but when they do wipe off a little bit, you can't even tell that they're wiped off because your lips are stained the exact same color as the actual cream lip stain. This one is the shade 71. It's a little bit more peach, and I really like this shade. Then I have the shade 72. It's a little bit more neutral and like a nude shade. Love this shade. I think this is the one I wore on my wedding day too. Next, I'm going to try and fit all of these on my hand, and I'm going to try and do it in a really organized way. I'm going to share this. This is the Wet n Wild liquid lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose. This is a great neutral, like mauve purpley shade. All right, so let's start going this way. That is the shade right there on my hand. It's so pretty. The formula of the Wet n Wild liquid lipsticks are just great. They're affordable at the drugstore, and I really, really love the shade. It's probably my favorite shade in their range. I'm running out of steam here, people. I think you can hear it in my voice. Then these are two Colourpop lippy sticks. The one is in the shade Brink and one is in the shade Bossy. Bossy is what I wore like 2 videos ago. It's the bright red. I really like that shade. This one is a neutral. It's my favorite neutral shade. Like color wise, this is perfect. Now the lippy sticks don't stay as long as some of the other formulas that I have from Colourpop, but this one is the shade Brink. It's so pretty, and it lasts a good amount of time on my lips. I mean, it's not a liquid lipstick by any means, but it lasts. And then this one is the shade Bossy. Probably my favorite red. It's like a really pretty candy apple red. It's that right there. It's so pretty. Then I have 2 more Colourpop shades. Pretty much everything from here on out is Colourpop, by the way, just warning you. Colourpop kills it with their lipsticks, and they have so many different kinds of formulas that like everyone can find a formula and a color that you like. The range is insane, and it's a really affordable brand. These are their matte lipsticks. I have the shade Layover and LA Lady, so I'm gonna swatch the shade Layover. This is a great nude as well. These matte lipsticks stay on so long. It's this one right here. It's a gorgeous, like more of a beige nude. So pretty. And then this one is the shade LA Lady. It's a little bit darker. So that one is LA Lady right there. Then I have their Ultra Satin Lip formula. This is a very comfortable version of a liquid lipstick. It is going to transfer when you eat things, but I don't notice that it comes off of my lips, if that makes any sense. Like, even if it transfers onto everything else that you're drinking, eating, whatever, I don't notice I have to reapply it like you would think that you would with it coming off. Anyway, I have 3 different shades right here. The first one is the shade Strip. It's probably the most like neutral nude shade that I have. It's this one right here. Then I have the shade Echo Park. Love this shade. Oh my gosh, it's like so pretty. It's a really pretty like neutral pink. This is another really great nude shade. I have the shade Frickin' Frack. This one can get a little dark, so I have to be in a mood to wear it. That is the shade Echo Park. To me, these 3 right here are like perfect ranges of nudes for me. The last lipstick I'm going to talk about is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in the shade Boss. It's what I'm wearing right now, and to be honest with you, I kind of like Bossy better than this one, and this one is way more expensive than that. So, but I just wanted to mention it because I think it's a really good like red staple to have. But to me, the Always On Liquid lipstick formula is really good, but it does dry out rather quickly. That is the red right there, or it's on my lips as well. All right, guys, that wraps up my 2018 favorites. Let me know down in the comments, are any of these your favorites? What are some of your favorites for the year if I did not mention them? Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave the Christmas tree emoji down below if you got to this point. I would like to see you guys, like, who made it to the end? Who's the end peeps? I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!